The time has just about finally come. Game 1 of the 2024 NECBL Championship Series. Just two teams remain in the chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup, the Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers. We got Game 1 of this best-of-3 series coming up tonight here in Newport. Welcome in to Cardines Field. I'm Sam Reese, and we're getting you set for this championship series as the Gulls attempt to make it back-to-back NECBL titles. We have a whole lot coming up on this pregame show to get you set, but before that, let's quickly rewind and take you back to a couple of nights ago and show you those highlights of the Gulls taking down the Blues at Muzzy Field to get here. Second baseman Peyton midway between first and second in the grass. Stevens launches this pitch. It is long gone over the Muzzy Field scoreboard into the trees. The Gulls lead 3-2. The 2-1 pitch. Laced up the middle. It's through for a base hit. Brenner scoops it up. Getting the wave is Burley, and he cruises in. He's fired up, and Newport is back level 4-4 in the fifth. Stevens on the ground to the shortstop Landwehr. He throws to third, and it's a chase down. Stevens running back towards third. The tag applied. Meanwhile, the run did score from third. Tyler Hare came home, and Newport is back in the lead. Oh no. Taken off is the runner. Peterson sliding late, and he's out. The tag applied by Randy Seymour. A dime of a throw from Jake Burley, who pumps his fist. Jake Burley catches Peterson out.
1-1. Brady Short gets through the glove. Here comes a run in to score. The Gulls increase their lead. The broadcaster jinx in full effect. It's an RBI single for Dixon Williams. 3-2. That ball is into right field over the glove of Short. Brini takes the turn. Gregor's throw cut off to Jordan Payton. Runners on the corner. What an at-bat from Andrew Duncan. Here comes Dixon Williams. Ball from Pazdera. That ball hit up in the air, deep center field. Brenner has it. It's going to be enough to score a run. Here comes Brini, touches home plate. A sac fly for Dixon Williams, and it puts the Gulls up 2. So much on the line. 7-6 Newport. Bottom 9. 2s across the board. Strike 3 call. Newport is headed to the NECBL Championship for the second consecutive year.
Welcome back into the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm Sam Reese, now joined by pitching coach of the Gulls, Kevin Long. Coach Long, always great to be joined by you, and it's championship time. We're just about ready for game 1 of the series against the Mainers. First question I'll ask you is, does this bring a lot of memories back in terms of getting that adrenaline rush when you were on the coaching staff for your first stint and playing in a few of these championships and winning it all?
This is what the kids work for, to have an opportunity to play in postseason play when it's very meaningful and a lot on the line. And the kids are excited. They should be. They've earned it, and here we go.
Here we go. We're just about ready, closing in on first pitch slowly but surely. And I want to talk about that pitching as well. In this postseason in particular, it seems like in the bullpen in particular, a lot of arms have stepped up in a big way. A lot of names. You got Michael Kovala, you got Drew DeLucia doing his thing, you had Nick Dorito the other night, Adam Walker in that list, Campbell Holt has become the go-to closer, it seemed like. What can you attest to the number of guys who have stepped up in a big way when it's mattered the most in this postseason?
Well, we've had a lot of pitchers leave.
Right.
Okay, when pitchers leave, that presents opportunity to people. And I firmly believe that opportunity changes everything. And, you need to seize opportunity to be successful, and that's what these guys are doing. I mean, those guys that you just rattled off, that they're all doing it. They're all excited, and most importantly, they're playing for their teammates. They're unselfish guys, and they've worked hard, and they've earned the right to go out and pitch and do this.
Right, and we've seen guys like Drew DeLucia, Michael Kovala go over 4 innings to, in some instances, close out games. Was that the strategy kind of coming into this postseason, or is that sort of how it's played out in a testament to the job those guys are doing?
Competition brings out the best in people. And DeLucia, it's brought out his competitive spirit and his desire to win a game for his teammates.
Yeah.
And Kovala got better, as the season progressed, and he developed a really quality changeup and his arm speed is almost as good as his fastball, so it's really hard to gauge it. And he's got a good differential in speed, and speed kills, either on the high end or the low end, and Cavala's got a great differential between his fastball and his changeup.
Sure, and I want to go back quickly to that Game 2 to punch their ticket into this championship round. A couple nights ago in Bristol, you put Nick Dorito in out of the bullpen. He was listed before the game as the next game probable. So first off, was that the case where originally you thought if there was a Game 3, you'd go to Nick as the starter for that game? And second part to that question, by putting him in, was that kind of you and manager Mike Coombs saying, we're going to get the job here and get the sweep done tonight?
Well, I think you hit all the probables, okay? And Mike and I had some lengthy discussions, and basically what it boiled down to is we both agreed that Dorito matched up real well with them. And also, too, I ran into the bullpen before the game, and I told them we're going to burn all the ships, okay? We're going to win today, all right? So get your act together and be ready to go when you come out of the pen.
And how important was it to now have back-to-back sweeps in the opening 2 rounds, just to, in particular yesterday, get that off day of rest before a championship game rather than having to potentially play what would have been a decisive Game 3 last night here?
Well, you want to win every game when you're in postseason, and you got to do what you have to do in order to win. And it's important to the players that, as coaches, our job is to put the team into a position to win. And if you have players that can go out there and affect the win in a positive way, then you do it. Okay, and that's what Coach Coombs brings years of experience.
Sure.
He knows this league inside and out. He knows these players really well, and he collects all that data and input from his coaches, and he makes quality decisions.
And one last question for you, Coach Long, looking ahead to today's Game 1. It's Aiden Coleman, your ace, starting on the mound tonight. Of course, it maybe wasn't the playoff opener that he wanted to have on the mound. So how big of a chance is this for him for a bounce back opportunity? And I'm sure he's ready to go and excited for this opportunity as well.
Aiden Coleman is a 19-year-old young man with he's an intense competitor, and he realizes he didn't have his best game out.
Sure.
And he chatted with me yesterday, and he told me, he said, listen, I learned a lot in that game. I learned a lot, and I'm going to bring it to this game.
You love to hear that if you're the pitching coach.
I like to do more listening than telling.
I like that. You heard it right here. Aiden Coleman ready to go, making the start tonight. I appreciate the time, as always, Coach Long. We'll be back in a moment with more On the Gulls pregame show, building up to Game 1 of the 2024 Championship Series.
I won!
That's a good play!
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has paid over $57 billion in prizes and contributed over $8 billion to Rhode Island's general fund. Your Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for 50 years and counting.
Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm Riley Daniel, and I'm joined by the master of the splitter himself, Nick Dorito. Nick, how are you today on Game 1 of the Championship Series?
Feeling good, ready to go, ready to get a dub.
I think it's very hard to argue with the fact that it would be very tough for us to be here in this championship series without your performance the other night at Bristol. Can you walk us through what it was like when you got that call from the pen, knowing you had been the projected starter for potential Game 3, but were called in to save Game 2?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I told Coach I was ready to go if needed. The plan was for me to start the next game, but, that's a must-win game right there. Winning 2 instead of having to play a third is really big. So, it's kind of just laying it all on the line and be willing to be flexible with the rotation.
Speaking of laying it all on the line, there was that really unfortunate play that led to a run where it was hit off your ankle, and it seemed for a moment as if it was going to be a question of whether or not you were going to continue, and then you just shrugged them off. What was going through your head when that happened?
Just got to battle through it, So I just kind of wore it and got to tap into that inner mentality and just fight through it.
Speaking of fighting, it's been 2 really great performances from you back-to-back. That performance at Bristol and then that last start of the regular season against Mystic. What was going through your head on that last start? Because it was the best we've seen you pitch all season.
Just getting comfortable out there and getting into a groove and really just feeling my stuff. My stuff plays really well, and, I'm feeling my best when I just am comfortable on the mound and just feeling a little bit better.
Speaking of comfort, there's got to be a sense of comfort with this Gulls team, especially with such familiarity with some of your teammates. I'm thinking guys like Nico Brini, who you grew up with.
Yeah, no, definitely. The Gulls are just coming out, and we're just a little bit better every day.
How has this journey been? Because this was a team that was 500 through the first 3-4 weeks of the season, but since the start of the month of July has only lost 3 home games here at Cardines. It seems as if every time you guys take the field here at Cardines, you guys are almost unbeatable.
Yeah, just bringing the energy. I think we're a really tight group, and we just kept growing as the summer went on. And something that, being at home, we want to show up for the fans, always getting a packed crowd, so I wanted to show up for them and get a win.
Speaking of that packed crowd, the last 2 home games against Valley and against Bristol here in the postseason have felt electric, something different here at Cardines. Is there a message you want to give to the fans as they fill in to Cardines in a matter of minutes here?
Yeah, let's pack the house and go Gulls.
Well, that's a great message. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, the Newport Gulls pregame show rolls right along. Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm Ryan Daniel, joined by Gulls outfielder Andrew Duncan. Andrew, it's been an amazing postseason run for you, hitting 10 for 19 to start off the postseason, the best we've seen you hit all year. What went into this transformation we've seen since the All-Star break?
Just being more aggressive at the plate and just looking for pitches over the plate. I mean, these guys are going to make mistakes, and you just got to capitalize on those mistakes.
Let's go back to that triple back in the first game of the playoffs against Valley. That ball hit the fence. You were standing rounding first base, and then all of a sudden I blink my eyes and you're on third base. What was it that you just allowed you to turn on the afterburners, look like Noah Lyles out there?
I don't know. As soon as I saw the ball hit the wall, I was like, there's no way that this guy's going to get me out at third, because I saw him kind of lost out there. I was like, I'm just going to try and get 3 right here, and it happened. So.
Speaking of runners being thrown out, you've actually caught a runner on the base pass here in the postseason, and it seems as if we've seen several teams now almost be hesitant to run on you. What lights up in your eyes when you see those runners trying to get that extra base and you know you have a chance to throw them out?
Well, to be honest, it's like I don't know why they're running, so I'm going to just make a good throw and my guys will put the tag down, so that's about it.
Yeah, they will, as they say from the dugout. Randy laughing along with us. A very happy Gulls team here pregame. Speaking of things that are made us happy, one of the most exciting moments of this season was Colby Holcomb getting drafted. Today we got some more news about him. He's going to Single A Dunedin. That's your hometown.
Yeah, I saw
What's
that.
your advice for Colby living down in Dunedin?
Man, just keep doing big things and have fun, and, get close to God and he'll take you far. So just keep doing your thing, all right?
Well, this Gulls team's going to try and keep doing their thing. They're 2 wins away from a championship. 6:35 first pitch here at Cardines. Before that, we're going to take a short break.
Welcome back into the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm Sam Reese, now joined by seasoned veteran at this point with the Gulls, Tyler Hare. Tyler, I mentioned it there, but it is your second year with the Gulls. You're one of 4 returners for this team.
Big night for T. Hare tonight, Sam.
You heard it right here. Big night for T. Hare. Take me through just the adrenaline rush you kind of get being back in the championship with this team and going for all the marbles once again.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a special group this year. We had a special group last year. Just being able to make it back here for the second straight year is a testament in itself. If we just come out here and do what we've been doing, I think everything will take care of itself.
And you mentioned it, great group of guys all clicking at the best time. Do you feel like that's the case too, where this postseason really, it was like that throughout the regular season where everyone was contributing in a big way, but it seems like that's especially true here in the playoffs, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but it seems like, every bullpen arm stepping up. I feel like it's been a full team effort here to ultimately get you guys to this stage riding into the finals with a 4-0 record this postseason.
Yeah, seeing every guy having a ready-up mentality, it's just a really good feeling to have going into every game, knowing that every guy's going to be ready to go, whether their name is called or not. Everybody's ready and everybody's, wanting to compete, so it's just a great feeling to have going in this championship series.
And after you had game 1 of the playoffs off, you've played every game since then. Some good contact as well in that game at Muzzy. I'm sure you might have been having flashbacks of your home run in the championship. You hit one pretty far out to right field that I think would be gone here at Cardines. So how have you been feeling in terms of your confidence at the plate?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Confidence up there. Seeing the ball well right now, hitting the ball good, so as long as we can keep that up, I think we'll be all right.
And one last question for you, Tyler. Just heading into this championship series, for you as one of the few guys who was a part of that championship winning team last year, how are you kind of embracing that role as one of those guys that knows what it takes to get it done, and what is kind of your message here to your teammates in terms of going all out and getting the job done and making it back-to-back titles?
Just don't leave anything out there. We've got a good group of guys from last year on this team that have helped lead the way and helped set the standard for this team. So I think we're in a good spot, and I think we're all confident.
All right, thanks so much for the time as always, Tyler. That's Tyler Hare for the Gulls, who was a member of that championship-winning team last year, hoping to do it again this season. We'll be back in a moment for more on the Gulls pregame show. Make sure you stay tuned.
I won!
That's a good play!
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has paid over $57 billion in prizes and contributed over $8 billion to Rhode Island's general fund. Your Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for 50 years and counting.